So we'll see. This could be a match for the ages.
Yeah. Also, last round we saw Conor sideboarding in Batterskull in the mirror, which seemed a little questionable to me.
Hey, I guess if it works, but maybe it's right.
Beep.
Could be right. This is a matchup that.
And a lot of people have a lot of different opinions on this matchup.
Do.
That's another thing that's really interesting. It's it's not something solid where there's a correct sideboarding plan. It's not like like a fairies versus elves a few years ago where basically everybody's in consensus about what was right, what was wrong, those types of things.
Right.
This is a matchup where even though this is the most commonly played match in Standard, the blue-white Delver mirror right now, it's still hotly contested how you're supposed to correctly sideboard.
Well, and it's not even that. I mean, I think a lot of it comes down to play style. Mm-hmm. A lot of it comes down to just like how you want to win. What are you best at? Are you trying to play a less interactive game and you're trying to like overpower the mirror, or do you want to get a mirror that goes longer and is more of a attrition match? I think it's a big question that all these players are finding out. And so Conor won the roll, pretty good Delver. Then it looks like he has Mana Leak, one island, one sword.
Stalker?
Yep, one sword, Mana Leak, Geist, and Stalker. Yeah, so that's pretty good. He needs a white source for that Stalker, but other than that, that's
I mean, I would keep that.
I'd keep that too.
I'd be pretty happy to keep it.
I would not. If it was eating crackers in bed, I wouldn't take it out. And Conor turned the land. It's not going to help him cast Geist, but it gets him closer to Sword. But that does mean he needs to flip his Delver. Out comes Stalker. And Mike, I think, is going to match Stalker. And he does.
Yeah.
It's a big question.
So much on the board that we can see that is actually invisible.
Oh! We have X-ray specs, that's why.
All right, Conor finds a third land, and this is going to allow him to play the sword this turn.
Yeah.
Without having Mana Leak be a problem.
Oh.
And that's going to be backbreaking for Mike.
That is. Now, he played into that, so I wonder if he knew...
He knew.
He knew, like, what does he have? Does he have his offering, or is he just planning on templing him out with...
Because he had Mana Leak too, right?
He does. So, I mean, he knew that was going to happen. And maybe he just knows that if you flip Stalker, he can't sit behind Stalker the whole game. He's got his own sword. He can Vapor Snag for one turn to sort of gain tempo over the sword.
Well,
but... Oh, he just played on his own sword. He's like, I got a machine gun too. I guess, the Vapor Snag wouldn't get the Geist anyway.
And we can settle into a game now, because when both people have Invisible Stalker and Sword of War in piece, I don't know if you guys have seen this happen before, but games can go on for a little while.
They can. They can.
It's at least not like it used to be, where both people would also have full grips.
Right. Yeah.
Now at least people don't have hands when this is happening.
But Mike, interesting, both players, no white mana. White mana would be big
They both
here.
put the exact same lands in play, even.
Now, did Mike play a land before he equipped?
He did.
That seems wrong to me.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to gain one less life here.
He's going to gain one less life, and that's
pretty relevant.
That is very relevant. And Mike's second play, which is another Stalker. Yep, another Stalker. Which Conor Mana Leaks.
I don't know if I like playing that extra Stalker there.
I think he wants to get his hand empty. I get that. Conor still just cannot flip that Delver. Mike takes 3, 4. How many cards do you have? 8 maybe total? This will be update in a second. Yep, goes to 4.
He throws a Delver of his own.
Attack first. There we go.
Yep. Alright, nice. And gains 5, goes to 9. Still no white mana for Mike.
No. He needs to play some cards this game.
He does.
Here's his Delver. But he's already taking 3. What cards does he have in his hand? Ooh. Taxium Probe. What will the probe reveal? Well, he's thinking about it for some reason. Yeah, he definitely probed there. Mana Leak, Vapor Snag, and 2 Geists. I can't think. I just think Mike is too far behind this game. They both have sword, but Mike's taking a little bit too much damage. He's at 9. He can Vapor Snag the Insectile Aberration. He still takes 6.
It goes down to 3 here.
He needs a white source. Post haste. And even then, I mean, it's not, you know, he's just behind the, ooh, and Conor gets a white sword, so Mike's a little bit behind. Actually quite a lot behind. 17-3 in favor of Conor. Ponder, it looks like.
It's a good one.
But that's what you need. This is the exact kind of cards you need.
And let's see what type of turn we can engineer for ourselves. There's a Ponder, there's a Pike, and that's shuffling away. None of those cards are what we need to win right now.
Well, let's see. If we gain 4, we go to 7, and we're taking at least 3, 4. Yeah, it's close. I mean, the Pike is very close to being able to keep that.
But it just still loses the race.
Right.
Not by much.
Not by much.
But it does.
Know, it's almost like Mike. Well, Mike just, yeah, he needs to be able to cast 2 spells this turn, just so he just doesn't straight up die to that sword. And I don't think he can if he keeps that hand. But he's thinking about it. He's doing the math. Figuring out if the Pike is enough. So he's keeping. He's gonna take. If he doesn't play another spell, he's taking 3. He's like 3 cards in hand, right? That's 6 total. He's 4 cards in hand now. It is just not looking good. He's going to gain some life here, of course. Deals quite a few to Conor, but another Delver. He needs Conor to not flip his Delver, of course. Very important. And a Mana Leak does flip it. And that means that even if he gets the Pike next turn, it's not.
And the top of his deck is the Pike.
Yeah,
so.
The race is not enough. 3, and so he would take. He takes 9 as it is. Yep. Mike packs it in. He cannot be happy about that.
No, not at all. But you know, he's got to be a little upset with himself there because he knew that Conor had the sword, and on turn 2 he chose to play that Invisible Stalker instead of leaving open Mana Leak mana.
Yeah, you know, here's what I think about it.
Although there are a lot of different things that could have happened from there.
Yeah, here's the problem. If you don't play, like, you don't have the white source. If you just allow him to sit back and threaten sword, like, you're never gonna get to play your own sword. Also, if he flips the Delver the first turn, like, you can't, like, what do you do then? Do you spend the rest of the game holding back Mana Leak for sword?
Well, no, but I mean, the Delver wasn't flipped, and he didn't play the turn before. If he had parted the turn before, maybe you can, I would make the argument for, I'd probably play the Invisible Stalker even.
Right.
But, as it is there, like, you know, my opponent's a 1 and 3 to flip the Delver. Yeah, it might actually be less with this list. He's, 19 cards. He's, about 1 and 3.
But I don't know. I just think that Mike wants to be proactive here. He doesn't want to get stuck in a situation where he is.
He wants to be the beatdown.
Right. He does want to be the. He doesn't want to get in a situation where he has to play around sword for the entire game. He's like, whatever. You play sword. I have a way to stop sword. I've got this vapor snag in my hand. Maybe, I can push enough damage through the next 2 turns that it's not going to matter. Neither player drew a white source. Certainly, if Mike had drawn a white source earlier on, right after the sword, maybe he could have gotten a Geist in play and raced it. I mean, he wasn't that far away, but it was just enough. I mean, the pike almost got him there. If he hadn't flipped that turn, Mike goes to 2. I almost think. Well, yeah, I guess I was thinking Mike maybe managed to mana-leak something earlier, but maybe there wasn't much to do with it. But then he goes to 2. He gets to play the pike and equip. Does a lot more damage there. He's not winning the race theoretically, but he might just still be far enough behind based on the sword activations that. But I don't know. There wasn't a whole lot he could really draw there. If he needed 2 cards, he needed to draw Divine Offering and a white source, and that's hard.
It is hard.
It's hard off 1 ponder in 1 turn. So in terms of sideboarding, we know Mike's bringing in the Mental Missteps.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What about the Gut Shot? Do you want another one? It's just, I mean, Delver's pretty good.
Delver's good, but I mean, if you're setting him 4 missteps, are you going over the?
Fair,
are you
fair.
too all in on that?
Yeah, you probably are. He's got Ratchet Bomb. Probably not.
Yeah, I think the Ratchet Bomb, he probably, it hurts him just as bad as it hurts Conor.
Right.
That's the type of card that against the Esper Delver decks, obviously you're going to bring it in, but here, maybe not.
Right. Now Conor has a Divine and a Revoke. Mike only has the 1 main deck Divine.
Oh, he doesn't have any Revokes in his sideboard.
Nope.
Interesting.
Does not. So that can come up too. There's a lot of things that can come up in this match. It's very, again, we're talking about decks that are, they look, at first glance, they're like complete mirror matches. There are just a few edges here and there.
And those small differences make a huge difference in today's world of Standard. Cards like Thought Scour, Gitaxian Probe, Ponder, people are playing so many cantrips in their decks that you end up seeing a huge number of your cards every single game. Even these short games, like even if you're playing like seven turns of a game, you might see 30 cards in your deck.
Right, and Michael Flores off the races. Interesting. He cast Gitaxian Probe, and it's just one of those situations where you look at your opponent's hand and you go, I don't know what they keep on Conor's part. 4 lands, a Ponder, a Geist, and a Gitaxian Probe. But then again, Mike followed up with just a Glacial Fortress, so. Okay.
I would keep that.
Yeah, I'd keep that. This is why Glacial Fortress is like the most awkward card in the deck, because you need it, but there's enough times you just don't draw an island that you put in turn 1. It looks like he drew another Ponder. But, okay, so no turn 1 Delvers, though. That is good for Mike.
Conor will have a Delver for turn 2, which will flip.
Yes, he does.
Immediately. So. That's one nice thing about Ponder, when you see the Delver and an instant, is you know you're setting it up.
Yep.
If it's turn 2, you're setting it up proper. If it's,
I will admit that I mess it up on Moto sometimes because I forget the order you have to click stuff in. And you're like,
it's like the clicky, clicks.
Whenever I haven't played it for a little while, I forgot, it's the first one last. Jeez. Yeah, Mike still no turn, play on turn 2. Conor goes for the Delver. Mike.
No misstep in
No
hand.
misstep, no. But he can't snag it in a turn.
Entirely reasonable. You just, he knows that Conor had pondered, so.
Oh, and still not a colored land for Mike. So even though he has 3 mana, he cannot actually cast Geist's St. Trapped.
He will have an end turn Midnight Haunting.
That's true. That's nice.
Yes, very nice.
3 mana, though, brings Conor his own Geist. Michael J. 2 Spirit Tokens from Midnight Haunting. I imagine he is, again, looking for There we go. There's a blue
There we
land.
are.
He can now legend rule that Geist away.
And that's almost certainly what he's going to do here.
Yeah. He has Midnight Haunting advantage, or Moran Haunt advantage, so. What? Just,
Oh, okay. I was confused.
Judge Staff goes, you know what? Those are not 3/3 tokens. Those are not the UMTG tap worms. Use the proper one.
The Worm Coil Engine tokens?
Yeah.
I love them.
And yeah, those are wonderful. Oh, and Conor has another Geist and a Delver. I have to imagine this Delver is going to get gut shotted. But, oh, Metal messed up for, ooh, and he's a sword. Mike is not looking bad this game.
I think Mike's got this game, to be honest. Like the...
Yeah.
Just
Barring
based
Conor
on what's in their hands.
drawing, a way to kill the sword this turn. I think you're right. Now, you just got shot the...
Yeah. Like, I don't think there's much of a reason not to.
I would agree. Yeah, he goes for it. Down to 16, Michael Flores kills the Delver. We're now a Geist of St. Traft, facing down 2 tokens. Mike now deciding whether or not he wants to hold those tokens back to threaten to trade with the Geist, or try and play the aggressive game. What do you think?
I think you send him in. There's no way that Conor doesn't attack because you have a sword in play. I mean, he knows.
The thing is that Mike does have Moran Haunt advantage, so he goes in with it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
I would.
I do too. I think that there's a line of play where I can see not doing it.
He did Jitaxian Pro though, so he has enough information where...
Fair enough.
So one nice thing about Jitaxian Probe is that when everybody's playing it in their decks, we don't have to make the comments like, well, he doesn't know his opponent has this though, so...
Yeah.
It's like, well, no, he knows.
Right. Well, Conor's about to play a Ponder, so
yeah.
he's going to get some cards that Mike has not seen yet. Oh, Mike says, wait a second. Whoa. I got a misstep.
And I don't like that misstep, to be honest. I would just use it to protect the spirit, because your opponent has like Vapor Snags and like gut shots, Vapor Snags and gut shots.
I agree.
And like, you have sword in play.
Yep.
All you have to do is protect the spirit and you win.
Very true. And he flips, looks like, wow, two Delvers with that Thought Scour. In comes the Geist.
6 damage.
6 damage, Mike goes 10.
It's huge.
It is big.
Does Conor have a gut shot and a Vapor Snag in hand?
I can't tell. He doesn't have his gut shot. He has both, and he's going to use both. Yep, he says, die. Die token. Equip the second token. Snap the gut shot. Not looking good for Mike now.
No.
Not at all. All of a sudden, he went from a game that looked like it was fairly good position, and now he's taken 8. There's really not, unless he boarded in timely reinforcements.
Which I mentioned he would.
Yeah,
I boarded in the mirror.
that's the only card I think that he can really draw right now that will get him out of this. He doesn't have time to make any tokens to actually attack with the sword and gain some life. Not that he could gain much, he only has 2 cards in the end.
He's falling a 2 here, and just...
It looks like Conor drew a Stalker. I mean, yeah. Yep. And for 8, Mike goes 2. Invisible Stalker. Michael Flores draws a land.
And he's
not
dead.
going to do it.
Oh, he's not dead yet.
His opponent could commit a game rules violation.
Hypothetically,
There's always that.
You get hit with a meteor.
Oh, the old meteor.
The old meteor out.
I mean, because right now he's looking at his own sword. Okay, how can I sack my sword and survive?
Yeah, he's gonna have to make a guy block and then divine offering his own sword.
Right, but
And then he's
still dead. It's, he goes to 1. Blocks the angel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
It's still
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Michael Flores, an entire day, started off 0-1, and gets to the last round.